The 1999 South African Carling Black Label Open Pool Championships got underway in Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape at the end of September. The sporting facility of the University of Port Elizabeth was the venue for this prestigious event, where the cream of the country's pool players racked up against each other in pursuit of that sought-after final trophy. Yet again, as in the Ladies' Championship, we could see the players had been practicing hard and that they were focused and determined to give their best. There were 43 national teams that played in 3 divisions, with a total of 483 individual entries into the singles and 278 entries into the doubles championship. This, in terms of entries, made it the biggest tournament up to date. In the semi-finals, it came to Nick Zulu of Eastern Gauteng and Eugene Govender of KwaZulu-Natal playing each other, and Mikey Alexandrou and JJ Fall, both from Eastern Gauteng, to play out. It was the number 1 seed Nick and the non-seeded Mickey who went through to the final game.
Do you foresee in the foreseeable future a time when South African pool will have enough money to fund its own players overseas and to do all the things they need to do?
Oh yes, without a doubt. You see, what we've been trying to do is find a win-win situation between the players, the sponsors, and obviously the pool association. And I do think we've come to a point now where we're getting the balance.
In the doubles final, it was Dudley Graham and Adrian Delport of Eastern Gauteng and Donovan de Donker and Alistair Fortuin of Eastern Cape that went to battle for the throne. Let's pick up with the commentators on the last frame.
Here's a nice shot. What can the Eastern Gauteng side do now? He stuns it, and the white sits right behind the black wall for an easy shot down the left-hand side. Could this be for the title? And he takes it. The 1999 South African Carling Black Label Open Doubles Championship is Dudley Graham and Adrian Delport from Eastern Gauteng. Have you seen definite returns from your investment to date?
I guess it's too early to tell, but I think it's one of those decisions we made consciously when we started investing in pool, that is something that we want to get involved with long term, not only for us, but also to take the sport out of the underground, so as to speak, where it's been seen to be in the past, and take it to the people. So at this early stage, I guess it is early to say whether we are seeing return, but we have no doubt in our minds that given the nature of the sport, it's something that will give us return in the long run, absolutely.
When the final eventually got underway, it was initially a ding-dong match between these 2 brilliant players. Let's pick up from our commentators.
Eugene, this is really set up to be a very promising final, to be a heck of a game of pool.
Yeah, no, I think so, because both of these players are exceptional potting players, and also the safety game and the technical aspects of the game is very immaculate. No, it should be a very good final.
And of course, these 2 players have been teammates for a long time. They play at the same club, they play at the same province, and of course they play in the national side together. Yeah. They know each other's game very, very well.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, I think the potting is not going to be the one that's going to be the issue. Yeah, I think it's more the technical side, because of both players know each other's game that well.
Mikey's been given the early opportunity to take advantage and establish an early lead in this game. He's got blue balls. Mikey's got an incredibly good technique. He keeps his head and shoulders very, very still. He's got a very, very consistent pre-shot routine. The build-up to every shot is exactly the same.
Yeah, he's very composed, very composed. He's one of the true professionals, if you can call it, in the game in South Africa.
If you look at raw hunger for this title, Nick coming in as defending champion obviously will want to keep it, but Mikey, having been at the top of the pool ranks, having been the national captain and then been dropped last year, will want it maybe even that little bit more.
Yeah, and I think both of them are actually going for a treble here, because both of them won a national title twice already. So I think both of them, it's gonna be a very interesting concept to see who's gonna take it.
Yes, of course, Nick won it last year.
Yeah.
And he won it as well in '94.
Yeah, that's
Mikey
true.
won it in 1990 and then again in '93.
Yeah.
So Nick is a more current winner, but Mikey's the hungrier, I think.
I think Mikey, with his new revamp that he's got in his game now at the moment, I don't know, it's difficult to say, but it might prove very fertile for him. Because at the moment, it seems like he wants to attack.
He's playing very aggressive, very attacking pool, and very calculated. He's very composed.
So. Yeah, very much so.
You notice every single shot he plays, no matter how simple it looks, he will go through his entire pre-shot routine, go and look at the angle he needs to play, build up to the shot, step into it aggressively.
Yes,
and he comes out with a positive result most of the time.
yeah, no, that is very excellent playing, excellent playing.
Mikey's now set himself up for the one last blue ball over the bottom right-hand corner pocket to set the white for the black ball to the bottom left-hand pocket, and this could be the first frame.
Yeah.
A little stun, and he leaves his white perfectly over the black ball for the bottom pocket. Notice that very still rest hand, widespread fingers. And it's a comfortable finish for the first frame to Mikey.
Yeah, no, that was excellent. His positioning play is superb, superb. Should be very interesting. I'm like to see actually when Nick breaks now, if he's actually going to check it, or because usually he can sum up for the first couple of shots. Sorry, Mikey's breaking.
It's Mikey to break. Nick broke the first one. He didn't drop anything. Mikey took advantage and cleaned up. Let's see if Mikey can turn this into a one visit frame as well.
Yeah.
He breaks nice and big. Nothing goes down. It's a wide open table. This leaves the window of opportunity open for Nick to level the series.
Yeah. Yeah, and also basically the only problem he'll have is the ball next to the black in the center of the table. That should be his problem ball that he will contemplate when he starts picking off the other balls.
So Eugene, would you think it would be a good idea then to look to open that ball as soon as possible in the frame?
No, not at this stage of the fight. Because at the moment he's also got a blue also down the rail here, which could be a very difficult pot if you run out of position.
So the idea then would be to spend a little time establishing this table and trying to ensure that Nick's taken yellows.
He's still got the reason why you just have a look at the table properly.
There's that one yellow sitting over the black ball cluster, which is a little bit awkward.
It's awkward as well, and he's got that other ball sitting behind the blue, which could also cause problems. But it looks like he'll play it now.
Oh, and he hangs a white ball in the jaw of the pocket, nearly running out of real estate.
Yeah, there was a close shave, I think, for Nick.
What can Mikey do? He's going to need to pull off one decent shot to pot a ball in established position for himself so that he can get into this game.
Yeah.
Nick hasn't left it easy for him.
It's gave him a very difficult shot because he's got to play over the pocket, and he also hasn't got he's playing into the distance of the shots.
You'll notice Mikey divides the table. Every shot he'll go and look where his critical angles are, where his
weak
crossover
points.
lines are and weak points, and he'll try and establish how the whole frame is going to run before he plays the first shot of it. And if he doesn't have a shot, he'll go for safety just like that.
I think it was a very. I think if Nick is most probably going to check this ball next to the black, if he wants to go for game.
It was pretty loose. It was a pretty loose safety shot from Mikey. He has let Nick in here. He's got many options. He can go to the center pocket, or he can go straight to this ball over the black to the center pocket on the right-hand side, which should probably be a good move for him at this stage.
Yeah, because at the moment I think if he's contemplating to go for game, he'll most probably play the ball next to the black. Because that is basically his.
And that, of course, will do two things. It'll open up his one dead ball and establish the black in one shot.
Yes, that's right.
And then the rest of the table is sitting reasonably open. But it looks like, he's going to the bottom corner pocket. Why does he do that? He comes to open the black ball up, and he does it very successful. He's got the one yellow still lying behind the blue. He has to get behind that to come to the bottom left-hand corner pocket. Otherwise, or alternatively to the center pocket, I guess.
Yeah.
He could come to bring the white to the bottom of the table.
It all depends. Sometimes Nick he tends to take a more difficult route, but his spots are much secure.
Nick as well, you can see very still shoulders and head while he plays that shot. He's a very, very talented player. In fact, perhaps even more naturally talented than Mikey. Mikey works very, very hard in his game, where Nick tends to get by on his talent and little practice.
And that was an excellent shot, potting in the middle and taking the ball out of the Blues' way. It's very well played there.
So Nick's established the frame for him here, for himself. Takes the yellow, sets up perfectly for the yellow to the bottom right-hand corner. then the yellow to the top right-hand corner, and then, of course, all he has to do is stun black back to the middle of the table to take the black into the center.
Yes, no, that's true.
It's a fairly straightforward finish for a man of his character and
caliber,
talent.
yeah. And there's also the chances of him snookering himself is very limited because of the balls lying so widespread. And the white in the area in the middle is very open.
And look at that position, straight to the black on the center pocket. And Nick is obviously giving the message to Mikey that nothing is going for free.
Yep. Nick is starting to feel the heat. He wants to get cooking.
The number 1 seed comes in to break. Clearly he'll want to capitalize on this lead. He's 4-3 up on Mikey. He goes for the big break. The balls aren't lying particularly nicely here. Either way he goes, I don't think he'll go for a big finish. He'll probably look to gain a strategic advantage in this early stage of this frame. Got the dead ball on the cushion at the top right-hand side. Another dead ball just over the center, just behind the center pocket, also on the cushion. Not quite dead, but not easy. Neither of them are quite dead. And then there's that cluster of yellows in the middle. Blue balls are also not looking too good. He takes yellows. He might try and finish this, but it's going to be quite an awkward finish unless he gets perfect position for those balls in the cluster in the middle of the table. Now he's having a look at what his options are. And he plays a safety shot, knowing that the blue ball over the bottom left-hand corner is blocked by that yellow. Doesn't leave Mikey too many options to play. Mikey will want to try and turn this into a strategic advantage. He just moves the yellow out of the way so that establishes that blue ball for play, but at the same time he puts the yellow ball right onto the cushion, make it a little bit more awkward for Nick. I think when it comes to raw potting skills, both of these players are equally talented. When it comes to strategic play around the table, well, it's difficult to say there's a real advantage either way. Both these players are very experienced. They've both been to World Championships. They've both been exposed to pool at the absolute highest level. Nick comes for the double, and he plays a fair shot, but he doesn't get a great result from it. Leaves Mikey a little gap to do something stunning. He needs to establish that blue ball that's sitting in the middle of the table. It looks like he's going to go for that now. Just pushes that up to the top of the pocket. Great shot. Blocks the pocket. You might want to pot that, but it certainly leaves Nick with an opportunity now. Nick tries to just kiss that ball down into the pocket to block the pocket that Mikey just tried to establish. Not entirely successfully. He leaves the yellow ball lying a little bit short. Certainly there's a gap to put the blue in there. Looks like Mikey might go and close that now. He's rethinking it, checking out the angle, and in fact he's looking for the ball after next. He's saying, where's that white ball going and what am I going to do after this shot? It's a very calculating player, very composed. In terms of hunger, I think you look at the two players. Mikey must be looking at this as the opportunity to make a comeback of a lifetime. He was the captain of the South African team year before last, went to the World Championships as captain. He had a tremendously disappointing World Championships. He got flu on the way over and in fact ended up playing very, very little there and certainly didn't have an opportunity to perform. Oof. And as I say that, he pulls off a little unforced error, bouncing that ball out of the cushion. Came back that year and had a disappointing national championships last year. Wasn't selected for the South African side, and this year he really, really wants nothing more than to get back in there. He's had a year and a half to focus entirely on his quest to regain the national title. Both these players have had it twice. They've both won it twice before. They both won the third time. And whoever it is that wins today will be the first ever three-time winner of the South African national title. Nick opens his table a little bit. Sacrifices that yellow ball to try and get to a position to finish. Just looking at the angle over this corner pocket. Seeing where the white ball is going to come up to next. This game is more a matter of white ball positioning really than potting. He comes around perfectly to get the ball over the center pocket. The question is really this other ball that's sitting just in front of the white at the moment. It can't go to the bottom corner pocket, which means that he has to come back to the other side for that ball or play it to the top of the table. Perfect positioning. He pulls that white ball back perfectly. Leaves himself a nice little angle to play the yellow to the opposite corner pocket. A nice cut, and he'll look to bring the white ball back to more or less where he is now, so he can play the last. Oh, and he overruns the white, as well as missing the shot. So it leaves Mikey with a very, very good opportunity here. The table is now wide open. It's really an academic exercise now. Can Mikey maintain his composure to pull back 4-4? He knows he can't let Nick get too far ahead. Mikey really has a very, very good technique. He plays a lot of snooker. And snooker is to pool like ballet dancing is to modern dancing. It's a matter of classical grounding. He's got a very, very still positioned hand. He sets himself up beautifully for this finish. He's got only the black ball to go and a reasonably academic angle to the top left-hand corner.
After 10 frames, it was Nick Zulu who went ahead with 6 frames to 4, but the determined Mickey didn't let go and came back to make it 6 frames each.
Well, Nick took the next 2 frames, put the pressure on Mikey. Mikey managed to pull back 2 frames, and here we are in the 13th and final frame of this South African Championship. Mikey elects yellows. It's got an interesting lie here. There's that one dead yellow on the right-hand corner, on the right-hand center pocket. He'll want to open that early up in this frame. Open that up early in this frame, shall I say? Notice how Mikey divides the table. Certainly a mark of his style. In his younger days, when he was something of an icon in the game, and that was certainly something that people looked at. He'll want to come onto this bottom cushion here and open this dead ball as soon as he can. Doesn't want to leave that till the end, otherwise he can't finish the table really. And he sets up a shot now which might allow him. He just ran a little bit further than you'd like to. There's that blue ball on the olive black label, and he can see that yellow ball. He'll want to put a lot of bottom spin here and come into that cluster of blue and yellow on the side on the side cushion. If he does that successfully, this frame could be his right now. He does have to get the pot and get the position perfect. He gets a pot, but he just falls short of the position. He needed to screw back that little bit extra and actually kiss the blue ball off to establish his yellow ball, and he misses that. Now he's got to reevaluate this table. As I was saying, he divides the table. He's got a very, very practiced and a very disciplined pre-shot routine which he goes through. And effectively, before he plays any shot, he'll actually try and establish how the table will run right to the end of the game. Plays a very nice touch shot, nicks into the center pocket. He's still got that problem over just off the center pocket on the other side. He's going to try and take care of that now. And he just kisses it out to the top right-hand pocket. I think he would have wanted to pot that to establish his last ball and position on the black ball, which could have been a superb finish.
but he just undercut that on the double and left it sitting over the pocket. Now it turns into a bit of a strategic game. Nick uses his one blue ball to roll the black towards a cushion, towards a pocket that's already blocked, and he leaves Mikey thinking, how's he going to get back to that black ball? In order to overcome that, Mikey just plays a safety shot, sets up that yellow ball, and he says to Nick, you clear that pocket. And Nick goes straight ahead. He puts the one ball, dead ball on the cushion onto that ball in the pocket, replaces the one with the other. Coming down to take this ball off the cushion, he overplays that a little bit, sits it in front of the pocket, blocking Mikey's shot. He wouldn't have wanted to drop that. That's why he cut it into the cushion, played it into the cushion, it kissed off fractionally, and just sits in front of the pocket, leaving it very awkward for Mikey to finish. Now it's more than just the black ball. He's not going to work out this penultimate object, yellow object ball. Probably just double up to the other side of the table, which he does. I think he would be wanting would have wanted to kiss the one ball in, but that's fine. That position over the center pocket leaves him a reasonably achievable finish. He can get to the black ball, although there are two pockets that are blocked. The long pockets on the black ball side, top and bottom, are blocked. Michael will maybe establish that black ball first. The thing is, Nick won't want to let him in there, will he? Nick's still got that one ball lying on the cushion on the right-hand side, which is fairly awkward. He kisses that out now, but he kisses it, unfortunately, just behind the yellow ball. Neither of these players will be in a hurry to get the game over. It's turned into a very technical frame, as one would expect. Nick again plays what he believes is a nice safety shot, leaving Mikey an awkward shot on the yellow. If he connects that to the bottom, then the white ball goes into the center pocket. He pulls it back beautifully. Oh, that's such a shame. He's just snookered himself on I don't know if it's quite a full snooker, total snooker. I think he only wanted to drop one of those balls and leave the other one there to establish his black ball with the last object ball, and instead he's left himself a snooker on the black ball. He's now got to play a double to get the black ball out. He might want to come and double it to the bottom right-hand corner. It's a very difficult shot. Would be a superb finish if he pulled that off. Notice how focused and controlled he is. And he tries for the double, doesn't quite go, but it sits over the center of the table, which means Nick is now in a situation where he has to finish this table, otherwise Mikey will pot that black ball. Ooh, he hasn't left himself the nicest of angles, although this is a fairly academic cut for Nick. I think he's going to go to that ball sitting on the balk line and play it to the top right-hand corner pocket and try and establish for himself with the white ball on the blue that's sitting over the center pocket on the olive label. And he forces that a little bit and he misses the shot completely. Obviously nerves coming into it a little bit at this stage. Mikey's now got this black ball shot to the bottom left-hand corner pocket. He's looking at the angle, double checks the angle, very composed. He gets his pre-shot routine every single time. Very composed. This for the national title. Can Mikey do it? He takes a deep sigh. And he's thinking to himself now, don't mess this one up. Goes down for the shot. This for the title. And the crowd says it all. The 1999 South African Open Singles Pool Champion, Mikey Alexandrou from Deja Vu in Randburg.
With this being the last pool champs of this millennium, everybody that participated realized that it was still cool to shoot pool.
I guess when I was 6-4 down, I could only hope for one person to help me along with this, and that's God. I'm sure He helped me along to win this tournament. and I can only thank him, Nick Zulu and Lucky, and it feels great.